Hi YouTube. So this is I finished kind of 6 weeks post-season now. I think this is my 7th week, I think. So the main thing is that if you've had a seizure you can't drive for 6 weeks, and I guess there's probably kind of restrictions from kind of exercise and such like that. So I spoke to my doctor yesterday and he's given me the okay to drive, and I'm going to get the medical certificate to go back to Pilates, so that'll be great, and get my back into shape. And I need to actually figure out whether it's sort of okay to start jogging again, because I think that's where my I don't need to lose weight, I'm just trying to get tone up to my previous shape, because that just seems like the obvious thing to do to me, to be able to fit back into my original clothes. I'm not being restricted by the fact that, you know, I have to eat a certain amount of food for breastfeeding or anything like that, and just not having the time. I do have the time to go for a walk for 3 hours, you know. Sadly, without a baby, that's the reality of it. You know, I want to get back into life and get back into my regular jeans. That'd be really nice. So I actually got really upset. I was thinking about putting up a video, yay, because it's 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, you know, it's kind of back to being an independent regular adult, which is great. I don't know, I couldn't help but think, you know, I kind of feel like I took my pregnancy for granted, because I was just so looking forward to meeting Chloe. And I mean, my pregnancy was so uneventful and just so easy that it wasn't, I don't know, I feel guilty for not appreciating it more. I don't know, I had 9 months to appreciate her, and who knew that that's all I had. So yeah, I guess I'm back on the guilt train for the you know, someone said, you know, there's the 7 stages of grieving and everything. I think I'm pretty much experienced all of them, and they're just on turntable now. So I'll be getting out and going for a walk soon. That will be good, and see my psychologist, so that'll be really good, so I can process a lot of stuff today. So we've been fortunate enough to be able to take some weekends out and go down to the beach just for a lazy kind of just overnighter. Every day I've been going for a walk, getting out of the house, getting exercise, getting out, seeing, just walking through streets where there's bustling people. It's just refreshing to know that there are, you know, there's a whole world out there. As I said in previous videos, I've made sure, initially in the first couple of weeks, it took me a while to do this, but I have something booked every day. Either I'm catching up with somebody, or I've got an appointment booked, and that means that I have to organise things beforehand and afterwards, and then Dale comes home. Actually, last night was the first night that I actually put together a dinner. I didn't technically cook, I just defrosted a bolognese I made and froze several months ago. So I think I need to get back into cooking and participating like that. So I wasn't around with Chloe when she passed, and I wrote a whole goodbye thing and had a ceremony and was going to deliver the letter to the funeral home, and that was going to be it. And then a mixture of kind of thinking a lot about it, talking to certain people, and having the option of seeing her, I decided that I needed to see her. I won't go into it because it's really difficult, but I mean, it was the right thing to do, and I'm glad I did it. I've really taken every opportunity to experience everything I can. It was all really, every step has been really difficult, every hurdle has been really difficult, but on the other side, I've always been able to appreciate the fact that, you know, I was brave enough to take those steps. And I did it. I survived. Chloe was actually cremated yesterday, so I was surrounded by a bunch of girls, and we didn't really do too much. We just kind of went for coffee, and then went for a walk, and then went for another little walk, and then went to a park and sat down for a picnic. So it wasn't like it was a celebration, and I didn't really want to celebrate because it was just a hard thing to I think it was just a hard thing to have process in my head. So I was really never alone, and that was brilliant. So I'm indebted to a lot of people for their support. At the moment, with kind of on the body side of things, I think that I don't know, I'm wearing my maternity jeans and they're starting to feel a little bit looser. My stomach is pretty small. I do get a lot of itchy skin, and I'd actually been concerned about that, because I had an epidural. I ended up speaking to my OB and kind of saying, you know, it's just altered sensations, a bit itchy, but the skin is actually feels like I can actually feel there's raised skin. So we think it might just be a hormonal thing, but yeah, I get itchy skin all over my kind of abdominal and hips, and my skin, which I've been blessed with not having masses of pimples. Pardon me. And right now I've kind of got raised little bumps and everything, nothing like big and red and horrible or anything, but I've got random dry patches and little raised bits, which I'm just, you know, the only bad thing that I really eat is dark chocolate, and I don't eat too much of that, but if I do, it's for a really good reason. It's very medicinal. So yeah, what I'm using is, I'll just use a moisturising sunscreen, just anti-cancer capsule moisturizer with SPF whatever in it. So I use that in the morning on my face. I religiously still use the bio oil. I use the vitamin E capsules on my Caesar scar, which is, you know, I rub lengthways and then I rub vertically to help with the so for it to rebuild its the cells, so it rebuilds well and heals well. And so that's normal to touch now. Originally that was really weird, really bizarre. I'm actually still having salt baths as well. I kind of have them maybe once a day or every other day or something like that. It just feels like, actually it's not such a bad thing. You know, I'm away from the TV, which is probably a good thing. We should turn on the TV off more. But it's sort of nice. I take in a big glass of water because it gets a little hot, of course, and a couple of magazines, and I sit there and, you know I'm doing something good for myself, but also I'm away from the TV, I'm reading and having time to myself, so it's not all bad. I don't quite know what to do with work at the moment. I think that I'm kind of at the very top of this huge hurdle still. You know, having seen Chloe, you know, she was only cremated yesterday, and then we'll have to pick up the ashes. It's such a lot to deal with, and really, really an intense time for us. And we'll be heading off to Queensland soon. So I don't know, you know, what's the right time to go back to work? You know, people say, you know, take as long as you need, but, you know, I need to get back and contribute to our household. So I don't know, we'll see. It's something that's been on my mind for the entire, you know, time. You know, what do I do? When do I go back? Do I just, like, not go back to work for a while? Or, you know, how long is long enough? And I think it's a bit like, how long is the biggest piece of string? Anyway, so 6-week mark, and I'm doing well. Everyone's really impressed with how I've dealt with things and been very brave with things, and, you know, thank goodness I didn't just kind of find a hole and just kind of live in it and live in this dark kind of space. We're very fortunate. It's really beautiful outside. The sky's blue, the sun's shining, it's not cold. There's a lot to, you know, I can get out and enjoy the world outside. It's nice. I'm very, very fortunate and lucky. We're actually, so this is actually our 2-year wedding anniversary today. I haven't got anything. Terrible. I kept forgetting about it. It was not good. So maybe we'll go out for dinner tonight, we'll see.